Hi everyone, this is AlphaAli. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's doing okay. So today I'm doing another VOD review. This is actually for BurgerQueen. BurgerQueen is actually like one of my lovely members on my community. They come in every now and again, just like, to come and say hi, and it's always lovely to see them. And we have their first ever VOD today. This is a gold lobby. I'm really not good with the right descriptions, but here we go. I was having a really bad day, and the enemy tracer just made it even worse. So I was really struggling trying to get them to leave me, especially when my teammates just don't help out with that. Okay, BurgerQueen. So it looks like we're going to be dealing with this pesky tracer of Ezo on the other team. So we're going to try and see basically how we deal with that, as well as how we can also improve our own like kind of Mercy gameplay and stuff like that. I haven't done a VOD review on the past of obviously this person, so it means that we are going to be looking at brand like fresh new Mercy and stuff like that. Nothing really to take back from the other VODs. Once again, you can get your own VOD review, the other 5,000 channel points. I do them on my Twitch on Mondays, but I also stream on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays too. That's just purely of my own kind of like gameplay and stuff like that. Of course, you're more than welcome to come and stay. Obviously, like lurk and get the channel points, and also if there's any drops on, or you can come and talk to my lovely community we have over there as well. I'm just gonna have a look at the skin. It's Honeybee. Dude, I've also had a Honeybee Mercy for absolutely ages. It's so cute. And we also have the cute little the Slime King as well, Charm. And yeah, I'm just gonna have a quick like little thing with your comp so far. Your comp can be good for Mercy. It's not the best Mercy comp, I'm gonna be very honest, but it is still a quite good Mercy comp as long as you know what we should be looking out for. I'm just gonna go over it just in case people don't really know what we should be looking out for. Obviously, Hog Hooks are like an amazing one to like, go into damage boost, try and help secure that kill. Genji is probably gonna be our main blue beam target, but then also when Junkrat, when he's got people in a small room, don't be afraid to damage boost. And Arno as well could be a really great damage boost if nobody else has a good sight line compared to her. But anyways, excuse me, we'll just end up like going in. Obviously got a blue beam onto our, thingy straight away. And that's how we peel back for our thing, which is completely fine. We can already hear that tracer and stuff like that. See, we've seen him and stuff like that. Nice how we're getting our height from him and stuff like that. My only thing is trying not to stand here, because obviously, like, you are kind of leaving yourself vulnerable to, like, this kind of chokehold and stuff like that. Normally people will just, like, stand up on this, this high ground, especially when they have like hit scans and stuff like that. But the moment your team's like, obviously the enemy team doesn't really have any of these hit scanning stuff, which is what I can talk about in a second, because I feel as though this is might be something which you're struggling with this tracer. But anyway, so we swear, obviously go around to go and help Arno, which is completely fine. Jaying as far away as we can, which is really great. Nice damage boost. Lovely peel for the Arno, really great. Love how you're using your height as well. The thing is, okay, hold on, let me pull this out. I want to see what we end up doing. Okay, let's rewind this. I want to talk to you about this, okay? You had really good positioning there, okay? Obviously, apart from this bit, right? We used our cover really nicely here. Obviously, we know with the tracer was, we back away and damage boost, really great. And then as soon as we know that Arno's getting node, we go up, okay? This is perfect. Now stay here, okay? Because you do not need to move from this, like, high ground advantage that you have. Because you moving down from this high ground like you did into the tracer's LOS is going to make you so much more vulnerable, okay? You can literally just stay up here on this kind of like bus thing basically and help your honor out. Hopefully, obviously, like these people might come and peel for you. Like obviously there's Hogs turn around for you guys, and also the Junkrat's still here for you and everything. Obviously Genji's got it, and so Genji's got what's called be going in and stuff like that. But essentially you can just like stand up onto this high ground and just stay here, right? Because if you just stay up on this high ground, you just stand here. You just stand here again, damage boost the Honor whenever she managed to hit a shot on people, basically. Because now you actually, you going in and going contested this tracer is the reason why you get killed. What's happening now is your Honor is basically just ignoring the tracer to, like, play forward. So you can also do the same. You can just, like, GA and then come up onto this high ground here, help your, obviously help your Hog, but then at the same time as well, if the tracer starts to harass your Honor again, help out. Excuse me, because right now you're making yourself like a wanted target right now with the Glock out, and you end up like dying because we end up like losing the 1v1 to it. So essentially, like with tracers, people like tracers, people like Sombras and stuff like that, unless if they are extremely weak, we do not want to be challenging them, because they are not so much like direct counters to Mercy, but they are like very easy. They're very good for Mercy to be able, like, it's really good for them to kill Mercy. That's what I'm trying to get across, right? So if you can, try to use your movement to get away rather than getting out the Glock, because you're not going to be able to get the kill off. But anyways, quick little tip as well on this point. I don't know whether you knew this, by the way, because I see this happen a lot, basically. The payload on this map moves by itself all the way to this chokehold here. So what can happen a lot of the time is if you are with your team and stuff like that on here, you can just push forward and allow the the cart to move forward. It's just like a little bit of like a extra tip in case you didn't know that there. But it's nice, obviously, you know, we're playing away. Ooh. Okay. So let's quickly rewind it. I just want to see what we could have done better. And it feels like this all comes down to you like wanting to be on this payload at this very moment in time when you don't need to, alright? So we're walking back, which is completely fine. Really nice of your Genji to like get you back, okay? We end up here. At this point, yeah, so I love this super jump. This is a great super jump, right? But we need to do it so we're getting onto this cover here, because then we can just jiggle peek like this, and also it creates a really big like space and advantage like between you and the Tracer basically. So your like Tracer has to like blink obviously into this room and then up the stairs to come and get to you, right? Whereas you falling down to here, and then obviously, you know, like, oh my gosh, this Tracer, right? This is the thing that ends up once again getting you stuck, okay? So we end up obviously, you know, falling down stuff, which is completely fine to help the hog. At this point, I would have looked, instead of going to your tank here, I would have literally looked at your honor and then used it as a super jump to get up into this high ground here. The reason why you want to do this basically is because the more distance you can create between you and the Tracer, the better chance you have at surviving against her. Like, the better opportunities you have and stuff like that. Now, you have a really good thing with the enemy team here. The fact that apart from their AlphaAli, they have nobody really that can, like, shoot you down, like, if you go up into the sky. Now, this doesn't mean, oh, spam your super jump, stuff like that, like, completely out in the open. But it means that you can definitely use these high grounds a lot more. As long as you kind of, like, keep an eye out, like, where the AlphaAli is and stuff like that. You can definitely just stand up on these high grounds pretty much with, like, free will and just keep yourself away from that Tracer. So we don't get stuck here, which is completely fine. Obviously, you know, end up respawning in a sec, which is okay. Hoping your honor is able to help your Genji out. If your hog ends up dying, I feel this is going to be a bit of a reset. That's how you don't go for that res. I was really scared you go for that res. Really nice, just back up into spawn. Hold your 50 Junkrat there because it didn't pre out in the open. Okay. Oh, what have I just done? Okay. This res, I like how you're wanting to use your cover for it. Really, really great, like, initiative of using your cover. But think to yourself before you do this res, is this going to be in my 1.5 meters or is there a better place I can do this res? And the answer to this question is yes. Because what you can do is you can just do like a quick like GA and then cancel and then bunny hop. If you do that by, what you do is you would GA to the Junkrat soul, cancel it just as you get there and then hold your jump to allow you to like a big like kind of bunny hop jump. As you're doing that, you can then res around this corner to allow yourself to get this res off, and also you're in a lot more safer cover. Because you're currently resing right here. If that AlphaAli was like up here or something like that, it's going to obviously, you know, be really, really like vulnerable for you to do this res. So just get out that little bit like a good habit, just kind of come around this area. But like how you're doing this res though. So obviously, go down to go and damage boost. Like how we're using our height again, really, really nice. Nice damage boost onto the hog. Can't do anything with your Junkrat again because I have no clue what it's doing. That's how you're going to go and help your Genji. Just obviously be careful with your hog. Nice. Obviously head in the spawn. Really nice play there. We down our hog. Like how you still believe in Genji here. This is really, really great. Okay. Hog hook. Just be sure that we're going in to go and damage boost that because it'll help secure that kill. Really nice how you're using your high grounds here though. This is really, really great. Nice damage boost onto the hog. Really good damage boost on the whole hog. Nice. Ooh, okay, right. At this point, I feel as though we get a little bit distracted with obviously all the, what's it called, the honors died. At this point, I would actually be wanting my honor to switch, or for you to switch to Brig, which I know obviously you end up doing like towards the end and stuff like that. But in fact, it would be better if your honor switched at this point because you're just getting absolutely dove by these people, right? What you can do in this scenario is you can actually follow up on this blade. Because what's happened is your honor's already used nano onto the hog, so you know obviously like not gonna have nano. At this point, your main priority is to go and damage boost this blade, because at the moment he's doing what I like to call like a naked blade, and naked blades usually don't really get the value that they should do compared to if you go in a damage boost. So let me just quickly rewind it, because I'll show you what you can do, right? So obviously we see nano's been used and stuff like that. I love, by the way, your use of high grounds right now. This is really, really great. You beat up here and everything. Obviously, nice damage from the whole hog, helping him out with that. Still looking at your honor as always, really, really nice, okay? So you rotate around, and then you hear the dragon becomes me, whatever he says, right? At this point, I would actually, because you have your GA on cooldown and stuff like that, and you don't really want to drop in front of these guys just as you are to try and pocket this blade, I would probably pop my Valk, so it means that I can kind of manage my beams between helping this hog that's obviously, you know, going to have these two people on them, whilst also trying to help with the blade. Now, obviously, main priority would be to go and help and damage boost the blade to try and get those, like, kills onto the supports and stuff like that. Because your spawn's, like, right here and your honor's going to be back soon to, like, try and help your hog and stuff like that. But I would definitely try and just maybe pop my Valk here so you have that GA reset and you could also, like, help this Genji a little bit more. I'm going to see what ends up happening, though. So you do end up kind of rolling back. We pop it a little bit later. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I feel as though we've used the Valk for the wrong reason. Okay, let me quickly rewind it back. So, obviously I talked about when I would use Valk and stuff like that, but I'm gonna talk to you why your Valk timing wasn't too great here, alright? So, we use our Valk to try and help our hog, when we don't need to do this, because we know Honor's gonna be respawning soon, and obviously he's got that spawn right next to him, so he can literally walk back, okay? If we wanted to use this Valk, we needed to use this Valk to be aggressive with these guys. Help our Junkrat and help our Genji, who's still using Blade, to get in, like, be aggressive right now, okay? Because what we end up doing is we end up kind of abandoning them too. Then we go for this res, right? We don't want to be going for this res while this hog is still really weak, because this Reaper, being, like, basically a hard counter for the hog, is just gonna go pew, 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 like this, basically. And if your hog didn't have his breather, then he would have died here. Your main priority is try and keep people alive. Your spawn is literally right here, so there is no need for you to res this honor right now. There's no, like, urgency or anything like that. I would have literally, what I would have done in this scenario is just probably, like, full hard committed with your DPS, and just, like, whatever happens to a hog, happens to a hog. Now, obviously, if it means that you guys end up winning this kind of, like, main team fight and you still have your Valk left, you can come back and then you can maybe, like, res your hog and stuff like that. Because what's going to happen is your honor would have, like, respawned at that point in time. But I think at this point, we just need to be going in and focusing on damage boost a little bit more. But it's fine. We end up, obviously, resing, and then we go back to the main team fight. Get away from the Blossom, which is really nice. Nice damage boost on the junk and everything. Heal the honor, which is great. And then heal the junk. Nice peel. Your peel for your honor is really, really great. And I feel as though as well, your use of high grounds right now is really, really great, right? I love how much you're using these high grounds. Just use them more. Like, definitely, like, at this point, yeah, exactly. Get back onto that high ground. Really nice. Create that distance. Nice ping. My only thing with you being on this high ground now is just, please just be careful of, like, this kind of opening here. When you're on these high grounds, try to just play in, like, set positions, if you get me. So, like, play here or, like, play up here. You just don't still want to be in this LOS while using this high ground. Because all this high ground is good, we still want to still be, like, really kind of safe as we can, basically. Nice heals, obviously, onto Hog. The same thing again, I'll still be looking to, like, do, like, a mini super noob to get ourselves back onto that high ground. Nice res. I feel as though I don't know whether our beam priority was a bit off then. Let me just quickly, because I don't know whether you could save honor here. This is my only thing. So I like this res. This res is really, really great. Obviously, they're playing it out of the way and stuff like that. Really nice. Then we go to go peel for a Junkrat, which is really, really nice. Does Junkrat... Okay, he kind of, like, wraiths out, though. My other thing is I would have maybe, like, stayed and put my beam on the Junkrat for a tiny bit longer, because what Junkrat's going to do is he'll spam down this corridor, and if the Reaper stops his wraith at, like, here-ish, then you could definitely, like, try and take him out and stuff. But it's completely fine. Yeah, okay. At this point, we make this rotation that we don't really need to, okay? At this point in time, we've moved over here and we are not being pressured whatsoever by anyone. So we're not being pressured by Reaper, we're not being pressured by Tracer, it's actually everyone else. So at this point, we don't need to GA in. We can stay here. Keep our camera angle, like, quite wide, and we can still keep an eye on everyone. Just put your beam onto your honor and try and help her out. Because if you help the honor can help the Genji. If you don't help the honor and you help the Genji, then the honor falls and then you're just stuck trying to heal the rest of the team. So really, if you can, try to prioritize your other support if you can. Obviously, you don't have res, which is completely fine. We don't have, like, obviously going to help Genji and stuff, which is fine. Nice. Help with your Genji, can't do it about that. Just the right thing, though. Yeah. Back backing out, which is, I don't know why your Junkrat went in, I'm going to be honest. That's his fault. He did the absolute right thing, though. Now, we've switched to Kiri, which should be a lot better for you, because it means that we're not having to peel for your, what's it called? We're not having to peel for your honor as much anymore. Which you were doing an amazing job of, can I just say. It was really, really great. Loving this flicker and damage boost, by the way. This is like, I cannot fault your damage boost and blue beam. Sorry, your blue beam and yellow beam usage and stuff like that. And like balancing them. You're really, really good at that. Really, really great. Nice peel, obviously, for us, stuff like that. Obviously playing away. Nice, we could Valkyrie in here if you wanted to. My other thing is try, because I feel as though a lot of the time, especially in this kind of scenario, you end up being like caught out a little bit. Try not to be using those slingshots and them super jumps unless you desperately need to. Like a lot of the time you could just do a cancel GA and just like allow that GA to be back onto cooldown a lot quicker. If you cancel the GA or let the GA pull out like used fully, then obviously you only have the 1.5. But if you start adding like the super jumps to it, or if you start adding like the slingshots, like using the facing and stuff like that of wherever you're facing, that increases the cooldown of it. So you could definitely try and like shorten them out a little bit more. But it's really nice. Obviously trying to beat Junkrat out on the other side, which is really, really good. Really nice peel for him. So yeah, lovely. Your damage boost usage is like really, like, you know when to damage boost, which is really, really great. Lovely, what's it called, folks? How does GA cancel work? BurgerQueen, do you have it where you have to hold down GA, or you have to press it once and it just goes out, right? Because depending on what option you have, so if you have it on the hold one, you simply just let go and it just stops the GA. With the GA where you just press it once and it just goes ahead, you just press it again and it just cancels it. Press, yeah, so just press it again and it cancels it. Because that's the one I've got on. But yeah, you literally, you just press it again and it just stops the GA like in its tracks. Yeah, so it's really good with like, say for instance, like you GA to someone on this high ground like here, that's like here, but you don't want to cross this high ground because there's people on it. You can still GA to that person, but then stop it here, like cancel it here, so then you can like still like do your things and stuff like that, and that GA is still your 1.5 seconds. But it's but can I say as well, really, really good. What's it called? Sigma ult dodge, by the way. This was really nice. Lovely Val Caswell for this. That ult is just really overpowered though. Now you just need to get you and your Kiri out, basically. You can kind of like pull yourself back a little bit more there to try and like slingshot yourself out, but it's all good. To get your pistol out just in case. Just, I feel as though at this point, don't be actively looking for people, because you want to obviously, you know, peel for your team and stuff, which is how I feel as though you're echoing, dying a little bit here. You can res that. Nice. That's the kind of time where you have to res people when they're near spawn, by the way. It's because you want to basically allow all your team to push up together with like this kind of like combined unit, compared to like being in the middle of a team fight and your honor's like here, you need to res and stuff like that. So essentially at this point, you want to be, what's it called? You want to be like pushing up. You know, you want your echo basically to help push up. That's what I'm trying to get up. But anyways. Oh, okay, they have Soldier now, so obviously we need to like start playing out of the way. It's really unfortunate we didn't know he was there. That's alright. Just, obviously we didn't know he was on Soldier yet, so can't do anything about that. That's all good. Keep on going back. So, back again. Obviously now, so we now know they have this this Soldier. We're now going to have to play our cover a little bit more. A little bit of a bad movement there, but it's all good. We did manage to make it back, which is nice. End up backing out, that's completely fine. This is just another lost team fight. You can still go in and try and help. Nice peel for your echo though. Same thing again though, you can literally just let that GA play out to stop yourself from having that, doing that slingshot. Because you're completely fine as soon as you GA to that echo. Nice how you wait it out, really, really nice. Nice. Okay, my other thing is that you do not want to GA into this room because you know there's people in here, like we've just seen like the Lucio and stuff like that. We're just in the outline. You made the absolute correct rotation here, do not get me wrong, but as you do so, press your crouch here to get yourself once again onto this like, oh, the Soldier's here, but you can still like get yourself like onto this like kind of steps bit and like crouch here. Or like you could even like play it like down like onto here basically if you want to. The reason is because you going into this room here is like where this Lucio is and stuff like that. You just don't want to be in with the enemies and stuff. So try just to GA yourself like here or like crouch yourself onto these stairs and stuff like that. But we keep going. Obviously nice rotation. Nice res and movement away. Nice. Really nice damage boost again. Probably do it for your echo though, because you do end up kind of being a bit away from everyone. Like how you end up on the high ground, really, really nice. If you can, try and ping people that you want people to focus. Like, for example, if you ping this Lucio, it kind of, like, diverts people's attention a little bit. So, like, oh, because we need, like, what's it called? We need to, like, go and focus the Lucio, right? So you can definitely, like, you know, ping him and it'll maybe, like, try and let your team focus him a little bit more. Obviously, what happened, like, a lot of the time, because people don't really come too much like that anyways. And then at this point, I've just been looking to damage boost your Orisa up until your Reaper TP's up here, which is completely fine. But it's actually better if you just, like, kind of stay with your Orisa and just damage boost her, produce that long range abilities and stuff like that. Now I want to see what ends up happening here. I pop my Valk. Nice, staying away from that cart. You can res. Okay. I like this Valk. Do not get me wrong. I'm going to go back because I like this Valk. Oh, this part where I meant by damage boost to Orisa, right? So it's fine, you kind of like wait until obviously, you know, like, you know, wait for him to drop down. I like this Valk, this is good. Obviously going to go peel for Kiri. I like how you wait it out. Okay, as soon as this flux goes up, you go down and you res. Okay? Because your Kiri is here, your Kiri can very easily apply the healing, whatever it is, the whatever cards that she has, like she can basically throw a little like checkout receipts onto the what's it called, the Junkrat while you res. By the time that you finish your res, you can get your beam back onto your Junkrat. Now I don't know whether he like wins this and stuff like that, I don't know, but it's better to have your tank alive rather than having this Junkrat, okay? Especially because it's Orisa, because Orisa can like just survive like so long. Because I feel as though we just go for this res like a little bit too late. I mean, nice backing out. Nice, obviously how you're playing out the way as well. Nice damage boost. Nice heal into Kiri. End up pushing forward with Orisa, which is fine. That's perfectly the correct scenario, and we don't end up winning it. So, healing Voodoo, yeah, that's the name of it. Sacrifice the junk. Well, it's not so much sacrifice the junk because I feel as though the Kiri could, like, what's it called? Could heal it throughout, basically. But also, I just feel as though Orisa in that scenario is a lot better to have as a support. So, overall, Burger, okay? I really love your damage boost and healing. Like, I feel as though you've got that pretty much nailed down. Like, it's really, really great, okay? I feel as though your reses, we could do, like, with touching up a little bit on, like, certain ones and stuff like that. But I feel overall, like, you're looking for the safety and stuff like that, which is really good. And you're waiting for the right opportunity. I just feel as though we're just resing people that we don't really need to and stuff like that, okay? Valks, I think we're good for the majority of the time. Just, your dodges as well are really, really great. Like, it shows that you have really, really good awareness. It's really, really great. Look that for your videos. But no, like, definitely, what's it called? Your awareness is really great with Mercy, okay? Things I need you to work on, though, is... Right, first thing is, if you are safe, do not move from that safe spot, okay? Because there was a lot of times, like, for example, right at the beginning, when you go and get your Glock out to go and, like, challenge the Tracer, right? You do not need to do this because you have, like, options to get out and stuff like that. And you also have this really great high ground on the bus, right? Keep that high ground unless if your team move away or you get pressured out, okay? You want to just stay as safe as possible. And right now, this is your safety. You did the absolute right thing. I feel as though you did not struggle with this Tracer at all, apart from the times where you did end up messing up your movement slightly, which is when you end up dropping to the low ground and the Tracer comes for you, all right? You were doing the absolute right things and staying up on these high grounds and stuff. Perfect. Really, really great. Really good initiative as well. It shows that you really know the game already, which is like a really like solid thing to have as Mercy. Like Mercy, you need a lot of like game sense and stuff like that. So really, really great use of high ground, stuff like that. Just don't get your Glock out to try and challenge the Tracer or like, you know, like him basically, because, or like Sombras as well. That's the other one I was trying to think out, because obviously you're not going to win that 1v1. So you just need to try and like use your movement instead to escape. So just try and brush up on your movement a little bit more. I think that's mainly it. Like, it's just kind of like brushing up on movement and like learning some kind of like, you know, like constantly not like slingshot yourself all over the place. Try to use those cancels a little bit more just to shorten that cooldown. But I'm going to see how you do on this attack. Sorry, defense even. You're on defense now. I do know. Okay, so now normally, this is what happens normally. The Widow would stand up on here and you will stand in this corridor here. because this is such a good advantage point for the Widow. Now, for some reason, your Widow's playing down here. Now, so this is really, really great. You're obviously playing like behind this car and stuff like that, like using your cover already, like your initiative. This is really, really great. Normally what would happen though is the Widow would play on this high ground because it's like so dominant and stuff like that. So the day Overwatch 2 came out actually, then you've learned really quick. I'm gonna be honest, like this is like your game knowledge already is really, really great. Like I cannot fault that. Say that you're like a newer player and stuff like that. I've interviewed people from like Overwatch 1 and stuff like that don't have the game sense that you have already. Like this is really, really like great so far, and plays really, really well into like obviously if you want to play a different role and stuff like that, you have that knowledge. And also for Mercy, it's extremely important. But it's keep on going. So Widow grapples up. I don't know why she's not playing on the high ground because it'd be so good for her to play that high ground. So obviously you know where Tracer is, which is really great. Nice, really nice use of cover already. I would definitely like, instead of just like standing here and healing people and like look, because obviously I know you're looking out for this trace, like maybe coming around here, but definitely just be sat here and like damage boosting like your Junkrat or something like that. Your Kiriko can very easily just heal these guys, right? So you could just sit here and just damage boost this Junkrat here. Your Widows are getting dove. Okay, I feel as though this might have been your fault. Let me quickly rewind it because I feel as though it's another like mess up with the movement, alright? So at this point, right, instead of having your beams or like any of these guys, have your beam on your Junkrat. Junkrat could just sit here and just spam people out very easily, very easy damage for you right here, right? So have your beam on your Junkrat, have your beam on your Junkrat. Right, it's this movement here that ends up getting you killed, right? Junkrat, when he starts like getting weak and stuff like that, he's gonna look for his cover, he's gonna look for his supports, right? This is right here. So you basically wait for him to come to you. As soon as you, because as this happens, this is when your Widow starts getting dove, okay? At that point, you now need to use your GA to go and help your Widow. Now, I don't know if this like saves her or not because she gets double dove by like the Tracer and the Reaper, which is like extremely coordinated for these guys for some reason. But you definitely like should have been using your GA here to try and help peel. Because you end up doing it, but like too late basically. Which is fine, we end up going away. I'm gonna see how you end up recovering from this. So we end up going back to that low ground, which is completely fine. Junkrat ends up falling. Really nice GA away again. Really nice use of high grounds. Use that high ground again. Really, really nice. Can't do anything about that. And you just die here because you just need to reset. Yeah, okay. Overall, I feel as though you're, what's it called? I feel as though you've done absolutely everything right here apart from trying to help that Widow. Now, this isn't your fault if the Widow dies because the Widow is such a bad pick into that, sadly. Which I'm really glad they've already switched, but yeah. I really didn't notice both Tracer and Reaper were there. I thought it was just Reaper. It's alright. To be fair, Tracer can be like quite, especially when she's using her blinks and stuff, you can't really see. Alright, we've got ourselves a Brig. Now, just a quick kind of FYI to people, I don't really play a lot of Brig. I'm not a massive Brig player. I will try to help out as much as I can with how I would play the Brig here right now. But I don't mind the Brig pick here, especially because you don't really have anyone to damage boost once again now. Okay, already I know you're being too aggressive with your Brig right now. Brig isn't meant to be like a third tank. Brig is basically meant to, what's it called? Brig is basically meant to kind of like sit back and try and stop dives. I also try and protect the second support, which is how I like to play Brig. There are other methods of playing Brig and stuff like that, but this is the way I like to do it, right? You sit behind your tank like this, and you just help, like, you know, say, for instance, the team has, like, a Diva or, like, a Winston or something like that, and he comes, like, raw, like, jumping in and stuff like that, you can just beep away. Now, you know they have this Tracer, and it'll be coming, trying to become for, like, your Hanzo, or it'll be trying to come for your Kiri, right? They're, like, the two, what's it called? She's, like, the two main ones that they're going to be trying to come for. So you just look out for them as much as you can. Either try and, like, shield for your Kiri, and then just keep on looking for your Hanzo as well, because they're the main two your Tracer's going to go for. We'll keep on going. I'm going to see what I end up doing. Yeah, as you can see, we're being way too aggressive, right? We just need to be playing back with our team. Nice packs, though. Like, really nice. You see how, like, we're completely down. This isn't... Oh, okay, your tank's gone on like a little journey, right? But this isn't, what's it called? This isn't, like, this is just, I think, your kind of tank's fault. as well, because what should be happened here is essentially your tank should be pushing up to kind of like play with you guys. Now this isn't me like saying that your tank's completely the wrong, because you were also in the wrong for being like pushed up as much as you were to begin with. I feel as though we should have just played back here, because you can pack the Reaper and stuff like that. I would literally just play back here with your Kyrie. Your tank should basically be taking this space here, but it isn't, because he's doing whatever he's doing. And I feel as though you might end up getting killed in a sec. So we're going aggressive here, which is completely fine. We use the pack, nice. Okay, when Sigma gets his rock out, put your shield up, because it'll help shield some of the damage. Going after the Tracer, which is completely fine. And I feel as though this is completely not kind of your team's fault. It's your tank's fault, because your tank went for a little wander and just didn't help you guys out, alright? So, overall, right, let me just quickly say with the Brig, right? Brig, I wait to play a little bit more passively with the Brig. Try to wait for people to come into you and then use it, because the reason why you're playing Brig in this comp is you're trying to kind of like deny the Reaper or deny the Tracer from like trying to get people. That's your main job, so just try and like play back and just help with that, basically. So, other than that, like, your tank went for milk, no, literally. With your Mercy, right, your damage boost and healing beam, like, usage is really, really great. I love how you go into damage boost people when they're half HP, but they're not being pressured. Really, really great initiative. Same thing with, like, what's it called, your, just, like, general game sense and stuff like that is really, really great as Mercy, which you don't normally see with, like, newer players and stuff like that, so it's already a really great sign, okay? I love how using them high grounds away from that Tracer. Just the same thing again, what I was saying, try to use those high grounds as much as you can to, and just, if you're safe in the position that you are, do not rotate unless if you have to go and help your team and stuff like that, because it's so much better if you just stay on that high ground and stay safe, okay? Reses were okay, just we need to kind of like learn like when we need to res and when we don't need to res, because the reses were good, all the reses were like quite safe and good reses. We just need to learn like kind of the timings and stuff, or whether we do or do not. But that kind of like comes more with time and stuff like that, but it was really, really good. Valks were good as well. We just need to, we just need to kind of push the damage boost a little bit more, especially with that first Valk that you did. I want you to push that damage boost more and go in aggressive with it. Try and enable your team as much as possible with it. But BurgerQueen, this isn't your fault, this is a loss. Like, please don't be sat there and think, oh gosh, like, I could have done this, I could have done that, right? There are people on your team that perform so much worse. Not so much because not saying like you're bad. Like you're not bad. Like you're probably one of the best on that team. In fact, no, you probably were the best on that team, right? Compared to like the rest of your team. There's just unfortunately sometimes that you get teams like that and you can't really do anything about it, because you know your tank goes and casually goes off to go and try and get the milk like halfway through the match. Like you can't do anything about that. So really don't beat yourself about that loss. Work on just knowing when to res, and really work on your movement and stuff like that, where it's like try and use those cancel J's a little bit more, and just really kind of like save those slingshots unless if you like desperately need it, okay? Just so you can like keep that cooldown down and you're able like to peel for people a little bit more, and it'll probably make you a little more, not so much fluid with your movement, but make you like a lot more safer and stuff like that. But let me know if you have any more questions, BurgerQueen. Thank you so much, obviously to everyone on Twitch as well as on YouTube who have watched this. Once again, you can get your one VOD views, leave for £5 of channel points. I do them on my Twitch on Mondays, but I also stream on Wednesdays, Fridays and Saturdays too. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all later. Bye!